everybody, this is Jeff from Outer Worlds Comics. Hope you're doing okay tonight. It is tonight because I have had a incredibly long and I'm tired, and it's been an exciting day of collecting comics. So I wore my Yay Comics shirt from Randy over at Hall of Justice Comics. So, okay, I did two things today. First off, I did three things today. I played golf this morning and teed off at like 8 a.m. Got done at like 12:30. Got a little sun on my face. I don't know if you can tell. And then I decided, because I was way down south of Denver, that there was, I saw mentioned in an email account that's for our comic book group that we meet every other Friday, that there was a gentleman that had showed up to group on Friday night. I couldn't go. That he was going to be selling some comics from his garage. So I decided ended up being like 10 minutes away from where I was golfing, so I ran over there and checked it out. And I'll show some video just real quick. I just took some quick video of kind of just to show his setup. Turns out I actually knew him. And I'll direct you if you're a Whatnot seller. He sells under burntdoor. I'll put it in my YouTube description so you can find it. But he's a YouTube seller, and he's actually connected to the guy that, if you've watched my video for the storage unit, it's there's a huge collection in the storage unit. Ethan, who's the guy from Burnt Door, was connected to this gentleman that had all the comics in there. So they have they have some kind of connection. So anyway, ended up figuring out, hey, that's the guy. I went through all of his boxes. We sat around and talked for a while. Great guy. Enjoyed the conversation. And then I just kind of went through some books and picked some stuff out. So I'll go ahead and show you what I got there. And then after that, I'm going to come back because I'm going to tell you about my other experience that I had today at a comic book store I had never been to. And boy, did I load up. So let's take a look at what I picked up from Ethan at Burnt Door. And then we'll come right back and I'll give you a little preamble about the other part of my day. All right, hang tight. All right, so this is what I picked up here at the garage comic book garage sale. I got Werewolf by Night #1. It's a variant edition. I have this entire run, but I didn't have this variant, and love werewolves. We love Werewolf by Night, so I picked that up. He didn't have anything priced. He had a few things. He did have some things priced. So then I would ask him what he was asking, and then he would just seemed to have everything in his head. We got Batman Full Moon #1. This is a variant. I loved this run by Stefan Subic, I think is what it is. I might be getting his first name wrong. This is not his cover, but it was such a cool run. I loved it. Basically, he becomes a werewolf. It's pretty cool. Man Bat is in it. Here's another one. This is #2. Pretty cool. And then we got, I picked up a Twisted Tales #8. I'm working on that run. I like these. Pretty cool, by PC. Same thing here. I'm working on Alien Encounters. I love this cover. Marilyn Monroe with the atom bomb back there. #8. I mean, that's so cool. So grab that. This is awesome. I feel like I saw this on Lunch Money Comics YouTube show one time. I think it was him that found this in the wild. Where There's Smoke. It's an American Cancer Society, thing here. So just thought it was really cool. He ended up charging me $10 for it. I was happy to pay 10. Pretty cool. I like stuff like that. I picked up a Marvel 2-in-1 #13 because I'm working on this run. So I'm really I'm like 20 through the end. I'm almost done. So it's really like 1 through 20 that I'm working on. I can't remember all the numbers I need. This is a Silver Surfer. It's a 2-issue limited series. I think I looked this up. I did not have this. I could have sworn I did have this. So I don't know if this is a variant cover. I got to figure it out. Otherwise, I might have picked up a double, but either way, I couldn't take the chance because I love Silver Surfer and wanted to complete that. We have Batman Dark Patterns #1. I bought this because I I didn't look it up on the spot. I should have, but I feel like this has been on Key Collector, and it probably isn't number one. Maybe it is. And I haven't looked. I just got home and I'm making this video, so I haven't even sat down and done research on stuff because I want to get this video out tomorrow morning. So maybe you guys can tell me in the comments. I took a gamble on this one because I thought that it was a recent hot key. Even if it is a hot key, it was one that I don't think it was necessarily spiking in value, but people were buying it. I don't know. I took a chance on my very, very fuzzy memory. I got a Toxie number one because I needed it. I have a decent run of Toxic Avenger, but I did not have number one. And if I do have number one, which I don't think I do, but if I do, it's not as clean as this one. And this one is really nice. Clean as a whistle. So I was happy to add Toxic Avenger number one. And last but not least, I have two books. I've got the Sheena Queen of the Jungle 3D number one, Dave Stevens cover. Awesome book. He had several Dave Stevens books. I could have gotten them all, but I didn't. I just picked up one. I was trying to be smart with my money. But this is by Blackthorn. It does not have the 3D glasses. So I got a pretty good deal on this book. And I just assume I could find the 3D glasses out there somewhere. I don't know if that's correct, but I assume you probably could. Either way, I'm happy to have it without the 3D glasses because I just want to add it to my Dave Stevens collection. So very cool. It's in really nice condition, really clean. So that was a nice add. And then last but not least, Swamp Thing number 7. I have a good run of these. I don't have number one, but what I do have, you know, from 2 through 20, actually higher, but like 2 through 14 are really high grade, like probably the highest grade books I have that are Bronze Age. I got really fortunate by buying a stack of them on an online auction last year, maybe, or earlier this year. So I needed this one though, and this is also pretty high grade. The biggest issue with this one is it's got a little bit of a, I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a little bit of a soft corner up here. Just maybe a little rub down there. But overall, this is a really, really tight book. So, you know, I paid about, you know, what's a very fine price. When I looked it up on eBay to see what like very fines were selling for, and that's pretty much what I got it for. So I'm fine with that. I needed it and paid for it. So I was happy to add that little Batman down there. It's funny with this book. I saw this book go many times for sale on Whatnot or auctions, and I passed on it because I didn't want to pay the prices for it. And I didn't get it, other than that's, you know, Swamp Thing number 7, I guess. It's a great Wrightson cover. Until like months later, I recognized that Batman is on the cover. It just never dawned on me. I never saw it. I was always so drawn to this, that Batman swinging down there. So either way, that's just a funny story, I thought. So there we go. That's what I picked up from the garage. Okay, so I think I did pretty good there. I really love that Swamp Thing that I got. I don't have number one yet, but my 2 through 10 are all very high grade. I don't know if they're 9.8s, but they're pretty high grade. So I love that I have a nice collection of Swamp Thing that looks like that. So I was happy to add that to the collection, and then just some other phone books. So he had some great stuff that I passed on. A creepy number one. I kind of wanted that one, but I went with the Swamp Thing instead. Okay. So the other place that I went to next, which was again like it was like a 10-minute drive from where I was at, is a comic book store called Vision Comics and Oddities. And I have heard of this from multiple people, but a friend of mine from group, and his name is Matt, he has been hyping it up for sure. So I had to check it out. And then through communicating with another person that I've met as a comic book guy in Denver, he said they're having 50% off of all comic books under $20. And then he said they have a huge dollar bin selection. And my experience in Colorado, at least for the comic book stores I've gone to, finding like a giant selection of dollar books has been something I haven't necessarily run across. So I was very excited. And then I just heard there's a lot of just crazy cool like toys and weird stuff going on at this comic book store. So sure enough, drove over there, and oh my God, this is the coolest comic book store. It's so different from Hall of Justice, which I think is the best comic book store in the state. It's amazing. It's immaculate. Great people. Everything's perfect about Hall of Justice. It still sits at my top. That being said, I also gravitate towards weird and counterculture. It's just kind of where I came from in the music scene. So I like that kind of stuff. And boy, the Vision is truly hits it out of the park with that stuff. I mean, you look at it just from the outside, it immediately, and I'll show some video here. You get the vibe just from walking outside. You see the sign, you see the building, it looks funky. And then when you walk in, I mean, first off, they had way more comics than I thought. If you can see here, there is a good selection of comics, of back issues. I didn't even look at the wall. You probably see in the video, I didn't get all the video of the store. I kind of wanted to do a complete walkthrough, but I was new there, and I don't want to just kind of dive bomb into this place and just start taking videos. So I took the best video I could get. But anyway, you get through there and you start seeing, like weird things in formaldehyde jars and all kinds of just I can't think of the word, but as you see in the video, just oddities. That's the best way. Like, right, it's in the name of the store. So lots of oddities and just toys gravitating towards like horror, for sure. There's like a horror vibe for sure going on in this place. Just freak show. There you literally see a sign that says freak show. It is that kind of place. And boy, oh boy, I was immediately just overwhelmed. I actually knew somebody that's helping them organize some books, John, from our group, and he's a very nice guy. And talked to him a little bit, got a kind of lay of the land of like what the deal is. They're actually moving their location moving to another location, and so they're doing this back issue sale to try to just, I think, unload stock and just to make the move easier. So anyway, boy, oh boy, I just was extremely overwhelmed. So what I did is I really focused in on the dollar books. Of course, the dollar books were not half off, so they weren't 50 cents, which is fine because frankly, just finding dollar books anywhere in Colorado, it's like you get the $3 books, and then Hall of Justice, they do a 50% off back issue, so you get them for $1.50, which is great. But this is true dollar diving, and it's kind of a rarity in Colorado, at least for the bulk that this place had. And holy cow, I barely made a dent. And so is what I ended up meeting the owner at the end, by the way. He was a great guy. I can't think of his name right now. Great guy. I just love the store. Can't say enough about it. So if you're in Colorado, check it out. I'll give a link in my YouTube description. Maybe throw something up on the screen. But I spent at least 2 hours there going through the dollar books. It felt like 2 hours. And boy, I was really tired because I had already golfed that morning. I'd hung out with the guy in the garage, and now I've been there just on, literally on my knees, on my butt, pulling out boxes and dollar diving. And I think I found some pretty good stuff. He had magazines for $1. Again, I'm trying to load up on stock for when I ultimately maybe do some kind of table or booth or something at a flea market, or maybe I do like a show or something. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. So I loaded up on magazines, and I loaded up almost a short box of comics. So let's take a look. I'd show it off here, and you guys tell me what you think, and then we'll wrap it up at the end. Great time, great store, and we'll check it out. All right, so we got a lot of comics to show off here. So I'm going to rip through these kind of quicker than normal because I got a lot of stuff to show. But I'm going to start with all of these magazines were $1. So what I did is I picked up all of these magazines to sell ultimately in a booth or whatever I end up doing. That kind of fits with the vibe of what I'm trying to go for, which is sci-fi, counterculture, weird stuff. So, okay, we got this Cali Chronic Comics Coloring Adventures for Cannabis-Friendly Adults because, we're in Colorado, and why not? It's Volume 1, Issue 1 from 2017. I thought that would be something that somebody would be interested in. So I got that. We got, they had a bunch of Star Wars stuff. I put a bunch back because I just was like, I got too many magazines as it is. Collector Showcase. We got a little Yoda, special sci-fi issue. Loved this one just because Chewie's like, "Arr!" It's like a funny Chewie right there. Exclusive interview with Peter Mayhew. Rest in peace. We got a nice, cool Star Wars Insider. And then we got a Star Wars Phantom Menace Episode 1 souvenir magazine. And I was a huge fan of Smallville. So I know there are Smallville fans out there. I love Smallville. So yeah, I had to grab that. I mean, I might end up keeping this one just because I love Smallville. Grabbed a couple of these. Marvel Year in Review 1992. Punisher's hot right now, so I grabbed that. And then I grabbed this one because of the X-Men, which of course will be getting hot soon. With the movies coming out, they're always hot, kind of, right? But with the movies, why not? Again, just got to grab this because of the Marvel movies. Let me see if I can, there we go. Superheroes Unleashed Special Collector's Edition. So it's got everybody on there. Same vibe here. We got a Marvel's Avengers magazine. Thought that was neat. Had one of these comics features, but again had Mutants in the Marvel Universe. Hey, there's a little Alpha Flight. Yeah, so I thought that was cool to add. And then we start getting into the sci-fi weird stuff. This was, I don't even know, I just felt like I had to grab that. Mahabharata series, Indian mythology and tales, history, divinity. So for all ages, picture library. I haven't opened it. I thought it was pretty neat though. 1991 TSR, nice fantasy sci-fi. I think TSR has something to do with Dungeons and Dragons. I could be wrong about that, but I don't know what that stands for. I should know that. Either way, definitely a Dungeons and Dragons type thing happening here. And then I got, these are really cool. Cosmos, Science Fiction and Fantasy from 1977, Volume 1, Number 1 for $1. And then this is number 2. Very cool. For $1 all day. And then I got all of these. I'll just rip through them real quick. Galileo. Oh my God. I have certain words I just struggle to say. Apparently that's one of them. I didn't know it until I just tried to say it. But you all know what I'm saying. So this is number 5. We got number 6. Number 7. All really cool covers. All for $1. Number 8. Number 9. Awesome cover right there. Number 10. And this is number 11 and 12. David Wilson on Bicycling in Space. Very cool. And this is number 13. Number 14. Number 15. And number 16. All for $1, guys. I think that was a pretty darn good deal. I mean, it's exactly the kind of stock that I was looking for in my booth. And, frankly, I've been trying to find sci-fi mags on Whatnot. And depending on what room you're in, these could go for, $4 or something like that. $5. You never know when someone's trying to track stuff like this down. So to get them all for $1, I was more than happy. All right, let's move on to the comics. All right, when I did first walk in, I ended up walking in the back. As you see in my video, I ended up finding the underground collection, the underground boxes, and they had all kinds of weird stuff. And I really stuck to the main underground stuff, but there was all kinds of Magna and sex stuff and comics and stuff like that. I don't really gravitate towards that stuff. I like just the weird underground, psychedelic, just R. Crumb type stuff, although he is sexual with his art as well. But either way, I grabbed a good stack of underground stuff. So we got Hup number 1. I don't know if this is a first printing. I'm hoping it is. I think it is. I actually looked it up and it is a first printing. So Hup number 1, R. Crumb, all art and stories by R. Crumb. We got Ripoff Press Inc. presents Underground Classics. These are good. None of them are like real high grade. but not terrible. And then we have this is number two. This is number 2 Ripoff Press Inc. presents Underground Classics Dealer McDope #1. Pretty cool. We got San Francisco Comic Book #2. We got Tales from the Ozone #2. That's awesome. Got Zap Comics #3. We got Zap Comics #11. It's awesome. And we got Bizarre Sex #10, I think is what it is. I don't have any of Bizarre Sex from Kitchen Sink, but that is quite the cover. So that was cool. Had to have it. All right, let's move on to the dollar books that I got. Okay, first is what I'll do is I'll just show this, so I don't have to go through every one of them. This is a lot of The Force of Buddha's Palm. Now, I looked these up when I was there because I had never seen them before, by Jade Man Comics. And if you go on, on eBay, a lot of these, if you get the whole run, they sell for pretty decent money. Now, I don't know that any of these are, I don't know, they're not all high grade. Well, I mean, they're in that very fine range for sure. Some of them even higher. But either way, they all look pretty good to me. Anyway, these can bring some money as a lot. So for $1 a book, I kind of did the math and checked eBay listings and think I can make some money on this one. So I grabbed all of these to flip to help pay for everything that I bought today. So I got these, and I got this as well, this lot here from Jade Man Comics. This is Drunken Fist, and so I got a nice selection of those here. And a matter of fact, I even saw there was a listing, I think, that sold on eBay that was a Jade Man Comics lot. I had a bunch of different of these. I think there's some more titles from Jade Man that are in this kind of like Kung Fu Oriental type of vibe. That sells for some pretty good money. So I grabbed all of those, and I will make maybe a couple lots, or maybe I'll just make it one big lot. I don't know. But I think I could get some money back out of my investment today in all these books. So that's why I picked those up. All right, as I was just pulling these out to go through them here on screen, I realized I had a few more spec things. So these are from Viz Premier Comics. It's called Crying Freeman, for mature readers only. I had never heard of this, but there was a good lot of them in here. So all of these, and these also had some resale value. If you put together the whole run, I feel like I saw a sold listing on eBay for $100. These are all, in pretty nice shape for the most part. These are high grade. Might be a couple issues that have a few little, like this one right here. It's not great. This one has a little wear up there, but for the most part, they're all pretty good. And they're thicker books too, so pretty good shape all in all for $1. So I did grab these for to flip on eBay. So that was cool. And then I did the same thing here. Now, there's not an incredible amount of resale value in the Human Fly. I get that. But if you can put the run together, I did see that, you can get a little something out of it. So, and these are all in pretty nice shape. These are all, for the most part, high grade. And I have run across Human Fly, and they're kind of always beat up for some reason. I guess nobody cared about the Human Fly. So I know these aren't huge or anything like that, but I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and 14. So I get a #1 for cheap and just put this run together and then flip that on eBay as a lot. Why not? And then this was my last kind of real spec piece. I don't know what the, again, I just got home and just started doing this, so I didn't research it all. I was just kind of digging and picking. But this is Nightfall. Of course, that's now being, what is it, turned into a cartoon or an animated show on HBO maybe? So I got Nightfall 659, 66C, 661, 62, 63, 64, 65, and 66. So I don't know what the complete run of this is, but I was able to get all these $1 a piece. So figured why not put together the Nightfall run. I do have a lot of this in my personal collection, but I just grabbed these to also spec and put it on eBay if that animated feature does anything for the run itself. So grab those. And the rest of these I did keep I got these to put in my collection. So hopefully I can flip all that stuff I just showed and pay for what I'm going to keep. So there was an incredible amount of cool indie stuff. It was like the most indie stuff I've seen in boxes. So a lot of cool stuff that catches my attention. I tried to be a little bit more selective and just not grab everything that I thought looked cool. I can always go back. But of course, I had to grab an adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters, Massacre, the Japanese Invasion. It's kind of a special one-shot, I think. I looked it up. I can't remember, but look, that looks like the big boy guy, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that's who that is. So anyway, I thought that was cool. This, I couldn't really find anything on this. It does have some wear on the spine, but I just thought it was neat. The Hunting of the Snark from Tome Press. This is issue 2 of 2. So grab that for $1. This one did have a little value on eBay. I don't know if I can clean this up. I'll give it a shot and press it. But this is Grunts #1. I thought it was very cool. And it does, from what I saw at least, I did a quick look at recent solds, and there's some value in this. So that was really cool. Grunts #1. This one, same thing. I was looking this up and I didn't see any recent sales, but I saw several listed that were all, usually if you go on eBay, you might see like 3 that are, the asking price is $2, but then you'll see somebody listing it for $20. This one seemed to be only listings that were in the 20 or higher range. So I just kind of went off of that. The pectoral muscles are something else. The musculature here is wild, but you got a nice moon in the background with some skulls. How can you say no to that? I'm going to do a little research on this book, but it's pretty clean. So very cool. Comics Interview. I don't know what number this is because, it's book 104. So it's Dragon. I did see that this has a little resale value, more than $1. So I grabbed that. I thought that was cool. Ultra Klutz #7 from 87. Somewhere in my head, I feel like I've heard that this run has some value or something about this book, that maybe it's one specific rare book from this run or something. Either way, it stuck out to me, so I grabbed it. It's nice condition. I had to grab this for my indie horror collection, Hot and Cold Heroes, Helsing. So you got a werewolf guy here and a vampire, and I assume that's Helsing right there. So I thought that was cool. Nice addition from A+ Comics. Oh, John Byrne. Is that Byrne right there? Zeck? Look at that. I didn't even notice that. So that's #1. You got John Byrne and Mike Zeck right there. Maybe that's, I don't know who that's, SID maybe. Anyway, that's cool. Grab this. We'll see. I did kind of look up. This run has a little value. But I got Guarding the Globe. So you got, Invincible universe here. Kirkman. So we got 2 #1s, #2, #3, and #6. For $1, figured it was worth a shot. Invincible stuff is so crazy right now. Who knows? These were awesome. I was happy to find these for $1. You got the House of Yang on Modern Comics #1 and #2. Pretty cool. And then you get Moves to Charlton for #3 and #4. I assume that's still the same run, and it just moved from Modern to Charlton. So thought that was cool. Had to grab it. This one I did not pay $1 for. This snuck into the thing. So I paid the $20 for this. It's Ghost Manor #1. There are some ticks on it, so it's not perfectly clean. There's a little rabbit ear down there. But I wanted a Ghost Manor #1. So hopefully I can upgrade this to a really high grade version someday, but saw it, grabbed it. Back to the dollars. So we got Atlas Comics, The Hands of the Dragon #1. There are a few ticks here, but it's otherwise, a little rabbit up there. So, in high grade, I think this does have a little value. At least I saw on eBay that it does. So grab that for $1. Can't say no to war, and this is in pretty nice condition too. Battlefield Action number 75. And we got a Fighting Army number 158. I grabbed a Logan's Run number 3 just because I am kind of like piecing this one together to sell at some point, so I got it for $1. And then we've got the old Lunch Money Comics special. 3 Heroes for Hope, starring the X-Men. I didn't actually have a copy of this, I don't think, so I got one for myself, and maybe if I do giveaways, or who knows if I get into that. I haven't really gone there yet because it just seems too much for me to handle. But I grabbed 3, all for $1. Grab this, Hallows Eve, number 1. Why not for Halloween? It is a key. I think it's her first solo series. Grab this one, Further Adventures of Indiana Jones, number 1. Got it for $1. A couple of Edge of Spider-Verse keys. This is the first UK Spider, I think. I checked them. I know that's a key. Same thing here. This is a key. First, I can't remember. There's 2 good first Spider people in this one. I don't know. That guy looks like he could be Indian, so maybe that's the first Indian guy that's Spider-Man. I don't know. Maybe I'll edit it and throw it on this. Inside, Spider-Man India, Night Spider, and Sakura Spider. Yeah, right. There you go. So maybe that's the first appearance of all those 3. There you go. $1. Dreadstar number 1. This is a pretty clean copy. I've got another copy of this, but Jim Starlin's Dreadstar. Grabbed it for $1. This one I was really excited. Dragon Slayer number 1. I tried to buy this on Whatnot the other day, and someone paid like $13, $14 bucks for it. So I saw that sitting in there, grabbed it for $1. It's pretty clean. Really clean. And we're getting down to the end here. So thanks for sticking with me. We got Detective Comics number 1, annual. Grabbed it. And then we got a Detective Comics from the New 52 Zero. So grab that. And last comic, we picked up The Huntress number 1 for $1. Pretty good. All right, tell me what you think. All right, so there you go. What a great day. Again, comics in a couple of different ways. You know, got garage sale from a guy who's just selling out of his garage, and then to a new comic book store. To me, that immediately became like, in a way, I would put it tied with Hall of Justice, and I only say that because of just the crazy, weird vibe, and just the guy that worked at the counter was kind of giving me, I've never met him, so I don't know what his general thing is, but he was kind of crusty. But I think he warmed up. I couldn't tell if he just hated me or if that's just who he is. But at the end by the time I was kind of checking out, and I could see that seemed like actually a great guy. I just, he's just got that personality, but I kind of liked that a lot. I liked that about him. It kind of added to what I was experiencing at that store, which was just so cool. So I can't believe it took me a year and a half to kind of find that store. So I'll definitely be back to try to load up on some more deals before they move into their new location. So great day. I would love to know what you guys think of how I did. And I think I did pretty good. I think I got some cool stuff, and I'll flip some of that stuff to pay for what I picked up. So I'll throw that up on eBay as soon as possible. But yeah, that was a fun day. I'm kind of in a groove right now with picking up comics. It's been really fun. And I just appreciate everybody watching. Again, hit like and subscribe. I'm inching closer to 1,000. I think I'm almost to 700 right now. So I appreciate the likes and the subscribes and the comments. I get more comments. I love interacting with everybody. And actually, I had somebody say hi to me in the wild. That'll be in another video. Anyway, be good. Peace out. I can't figure out how it looks on the screen like that. Peace out.